Hello and welcome to Making Disciples and the Discipleship Assessment Tool. My name is Reverend Chris Rogers, and with a team we developed an assessment tool that would help an individual and a church explore discipleship and spiritual formation. In the assessment tool we use some very simple, sticky language to help congregations explore what is discipleship and spiritual formation. We talk about your head, your heart, and your hands. And in this short video, we'll explore with you what is the tool, how it works, and the impact it can have on individuals and your church. As we talk about discipleship, we are talking about discipleship and spiritual formation. We're talking about the external life of a disciple as well as the internal life of a disciple. It's these two coming together that makes us a whole disciple of Jesus. Everything I'm about to show you can be found in Making Disciples. If you go to the website wearemakingdisciples.com, you can see copies of this, and the content from it is free and downloadable from the website. When we talk about discipleship, we are talking about Jesus influencing all areas of our lives. Luke 10:24 says this: love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and all your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Loving God with your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength. Taking this, we have created some sticky language around loving God with your head, your heart, and your hands, and allowing Jesus to influence all areas of your life. And it's this head, hands, and heart that we use in the discipleship assessment tool to help an individual or a church explore what areas of discipleship and spiritual formation may need investing into next. So the discipleship assessment tool can be done in paper form, but also through the website. It's essentially 20 questions that will explore with you how much is Jesus influencing the whole of your life. Are you somebody that is balanced in your discipleship, or are there areas that you now need to allow Jesus to influence and shape you so you can become a balanced disciple? The way to do the assessment tool is very simple. We have a scale of in every way, somewhat, or not at all. With the 20 questions, you get to answer that question by putting a simple X mark on the line wherever you would place yourself. So how much of your day-to-day life is changing as you think about what it means to live for Jesus? Is it in every way, somewhat, or not at all? Now, near in every way, you'll see that there's a cross. The cross is at the center of the discipleship assessment tool. And the challenge of a disciple is to be growing closer to Christ. So you want to be looking at allowing Jesus to influence your life somewhere between in every way and somewhat. But the reality is many of us are actually closer to not at all. And the assessment tool will help you as an individual or your church explore what areas you may need to invest in so you're moving that mark closer to in every way. When you've done your assessment tool, you join at the dots and you will get your discipleship shape. And it's this shape that will now help you explore what areas you need to invest in. Somebody that gets a shape that's like this P, this is somebody who has invested into their head, the way that they think and they reflect, but less so when it comes to activating it in their hands or around how it's transforming their heart. It might be that you get something that looks like the pear shape. Here is somebody that the scriptures have influenced their thinking and they've activated it with their hands, but it's less impacted their heart and the way that they see themselves and what God cares for in the world. It might be that you get a shape that looks like this, where everything is out at the edge. This is probably someone who is a new Christian, somebody who hasn't thought through yet what are the influences that Jesus has and wants to have on your life. It may be that you come out as a small p. Here is somebody that's probably been a disciple of Jesus for many years, and Jesus has influenced their thinking, their activities, and what breaks their heart. It's actually more likely that people come out like a starfish. You see, some of the questions are corporate questions and some of the questions are private questions, and they're interlaced around the assessment tool. So if you are somebody that lives out your faith privately, it's very likely that those answers will be close to the middle, but the corporate questions will be out on the edge. So you get this starfish kind of shape. You might be somebody who only really invests into your faith when you're with others. So you'd answer those questions nearer the middle. and the ones that are about you personally are out on the edge. And that really helps you explore, do I need to invest in my personal faith, or do I need to invest into my corporate faith, how I live out my faith with others? So there's different shapes, and those shapes help an individual explore what is next for them in their discipleship. These shapes can then be put together for you as a church leader as you get your church discipleship shape. That's the amalgamation of all the shapes of the members of your congregation. You can then see what are the areas that you as a church need to be looking at to become a balanced church in your head, your heart, and your hands. As a church leader, you can see the results around age, generations, male, female, how long somebody's been a Christian. You can pull out that data and have a look at it and make decisions on what you need to do, maybe in your men's ministry or your women's ministry, specifically for guys as they disciple and become discipled. You may need to change what you do for different generations because they just see things differently. But you can look at your discipleship shape as a church and explore what is next for you. Once you've done your discipleship shape, you can head to the website, wearemakingdisciples.com. We have got there a tool called the Discipleship Action Planning that will help you and your PCC look at what is next. We also have other tools like the Discipleship Pipeline. This is a great tool to help your PCC explore, do I have a pipeline for somebody to come in as a new Christian and travel through my church to the point where they become somebody who can lead others? Have I got something in place for everybody to be discipled as a follower of Jesus? There are many other things you can find on our website, wearemakingdisciples.com. If you've got any questions, you can email questions@wearemakingdisciples.com. We would love to invite you to explore the discipleship assessment tool and see if this is something that you could use with your church to activate discipleship and spiritual formation.